Morning, brethren, once again. I'm happy to have you with me once again this week. Uh, as we've been dealing with this issue of acceptance for a couple of weeks now. For those who've been following, you know where we began. I'll carry on with the same breath, on the same note of acceptance. It's more or less of being given some kind of access. As I began my speaking a few weeks back, that many people are really struggling with this issue of acceptance at various places where they are stationed, right from their office spaces to the church setup, the government, within the family, and also in the wider society. It is a problem that people have had to grapple with for a very long period of time. Even the orphans, they really struggle with that. It's something that torments them psychologically, really not knowing what to do, because they feel left out, they feel frustrated in life. They feel as if they do not belong in a certain family, within the certain family. And this is the number one mistake. When we allow ourselves to operate in feelings, we miss out on opportunities that may come along our way. And in order for us to be accepted, number one, we must cease to operate in emotions. Two, we must cease to operate in assumptions. I'm talking to somebody here this morning. I'm talking to an orphan outside there. Because many a times you realize that most orphans, they tend to sympathize with themselves. They tend to just look down upon themselves with some degree of doubt. At times, some assume they are hated when it is really not true. Some feel as if they are being sidelined on certain issues which may not necessarily be true. But the real thing is to set aside your feeling as an orphan and begin operating in the right direction by doing the right thing, embracing the truth. Therein, whether you are an orphan, because an orphan is like an alien in the society. Whether you are an alien like Joseph, you'll end up being accepted. Because Joseph was an alien in Egypt. But at the end of the day, he rose up and became the second man in the land, second only to Pharaoh. Why? Because Joseph never looked upon himself as an orphan. He never saw himself as an alien, but he saw himself as a child of God, and he believed that he had a father. And that's why this morning I'm here to encourage more so the orphans to stop looking down at yourself and operating in emotions. Emotions won't do you any good. The only thing that emotions does to you, it dissuades you, and actually it derails you from your purpose in life. And the time has come for you to rise up and to put aside your emotions and start focusing on your destiny. Start focusing on your desires. Start focusing on your goals. And once you embrace that, once you get wind of that, you begin now operating in that realm by doing the right thing. It doesn't really help for me as Steve to start wondering and thinking, why was I born this way? Why is 1, 2, 3 things happening to me? Why is it that so and so has 1, 2, 3 and another one does not have? Because that does not do one any good. And that is the more reason why this morning I'm specifically targeting the orphans, because in my line of operation I've realized that they operate in some kind of rejection. They feel that they are being rejected when ideally it is not the truth. It's a mind game. It's a mind game that the devil likes using to intimidate you, to make you feel unwanted, to make you feel despised, to make you feel demeaned to a degree that you demean yourself, and as a result you end up missing on you will be favor. So for that reason, you need to first of all put away those negative thoughts, put aside those negative feelings, and begin doing the right thing by being strong, focusing on your destiny, and believing in God. For the Bible says, luck and chance happen to them all. This race is not to the swift, my brother. This race is not to the strong. It is not to the wisest. It is not to the learned. But luck and chance happen to them all. If luck and chance happen to everybody, then it means even you, as much as you are an orphan, your day is coming. Because luck talks of an opportunity. It talks of a set time. It talks of a season. It talks of a period. Now it's upon you to be able to be sensitive enough and understand that this is my season. This is my time to rise up. This is my opportunity to stand and to withstand all the storms. This morning, I know you may be an orphan. You may be an alien in the area where you live, and you may be struggling with rejection. You may be struggling with certain thoughts. In order for you to overcome these things, it first of all begins by you turning your mindset away from your situation, turning your thoughts away from the events around you, because the only thing that those things will do is to divert you, deviate you from your course. So, whether you are an orphan in your family, my brother, my sister, stop focusing on your situation. Stop focusing on the things, the circumstances around you. Whether you are an alien where you live, by you constantly thinking about your state, by you constantly thinking about what other people think, that won't do you any good. You need to understand that emotions has never built anybody. Emotions can never make anyone rise up. Emotions can never establish you. That's why you need, number one, to be self-controlled. You need to be sober. You need to have a clear mind. You need to have a clear vision. You need to have a clear purpose of what you want in life. You need to understand where you are and to begin working towards your destiny. For that is what will enable you to turn around the tides. For these are the obstacles that has been hindering people from accelerating, that has been hindering people from rising up. Even in the workstations, there are a lot of assumptions, but this life is not a life of assumptions. This life is not a life of thinking. No, my friend. No, my brother. The time has come for the people to rise up and to stop leaning on the path of moods. Because there are those who are too moody. And what does moodiness do? Moodiness, it stops you from doing the right thing. And that's why this morning, I'm really on this issue of emotions. I spoke about humility the other week. I spoke about pride the other week. But now, I'm on emotions. You must learn to subdue your emotions, because man was created as a dominant force. And you begin, first of all, by reigning on yourself, by ruling yourself, because before you can even rule another person. You rule yourself first before you can rule your wife. You rule yourself first before you can rule your family. You rule yourself first even before you can rule your company. This morning, you are listening to me, you are an orphan. Stop sympathizing with yourself. Stop sympathizing with your situation. Stop wasting a lot of time on who you are and why you are that way. That won't do you any good thing. Neither will it put food on the table. Neither will it cause you to be accepted. By you looking down on yourself, holding your chin every other day, that will not make you to be accepted, my brother. No, no, no. It's about time, beloved, for you to rise up and to be that person whom God intended you to be. For you to rise up. You may be an alien in the land where you are living. Stop looking at yourself as an alien. Stop looking at yourself as if you are not meant to be where you are. Begin to rise and to do the right thing. And I believe in due season you shall be able to stand. Those are points that I need you to reflect on this morning. Stop being emotional in life. Stop being emotional. Stop being emotional. Because the same thing is affecting people even in churches, where they waste a lot of time sympathizing with themselves simply because they do not belong there. Whether you belong or not belong there, begin by doing the right thing. There is one who may belong there but is not doing the right thing. And you don't belong there and you do the right thing. Between the two, obviously, you who does the right thing at the end of the day will be accepted at the expense of the foreigner. So it's not about you being a foreigner that counts. It's about you doing the right thing in life. It's about you sitting in the seat of honor. And how do you access that seat of honor? You access that seat of honor by not operating in emotions. Emotions makes you think as if you're moving in the right direction, but ideally it is not true. Otherwise, my dear friends, I want to thank you this morning for listening to me yet again. I believe we are heading somewhere, and I believe as we continue walking together, I'll continue revealing more things bit by bit which can help us, because without the knowledge of the truth, it becomes virtually impossible to walk out in the right path, and as a result, you end up missing. But I believe it is not the will of God for you to miss out on your destiny. It is not the will of God for you to miss out on your purpose. It is not the will of God for you to live a lie. Because many a times when you operate in these arenas, you end up living a lie, a life that was not intended for you from the very onset and from the very beginning. Otherwise, I want to thank you yet again for giving me your ear, for granting me your ear. I hope these points, these sentiments will be able to help you even as you grow, as you engage in your daily activities, whether in the family, your places of work, your business, and I believe at the end of the day, your life shall be transformed for the better. Others, thank you for listening to me. We shall be meeting here yet again next week as we delve deeper, because I want to bring the relationship of now what gives us access. Because when we talk about being accepted, we are actually looking for something that gives access. And I believe once you learn that, it will be able to help you. Others, thank you again for listening to me this morning. I believe if you take all these messages into consideration, they will be able to help you. In case you have a challenge, you have something that that is troubling you, you are free to reach out to me. You are free to inbox me. You are free to ask me a question, and I will respond. Thank you very much, and may the Lord bless you. Amen.